We'll call a regular meeting in the New Ulm Economic Development Authority for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019, 8 a.m. to order. First item on the agenda is roll call. We do have a quorum, so we'll go on to approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any more discussion on them? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 3, administrative activities for the month. Heather?
All right, good morning, everyone. You've received the reports for our various programs. I'll just point out a few things. Under the EDA report, you'll see I did note last month we had approved paying up to $25,000 for the retail strategies contract, but the other entities all did agree to pay a portion of that, so the EDA's cost was $15,000. So I just wanted to circle back and let you know that. Under the Property Rehabilitation Loan Program, one application has been received, and that's still being processed. I think we're waiting to find out how much they would like to borrow. I think initially the application was for $25,000, but they might want to increase that amount. If they do, we would need to come back to the board for approval. Otherwise, if they decide $25,000 is enough, then Chris would just approve it and move forward. We also had another inquiry, and they've received an application, but they haven't turned it back in, but we do expect it to come in. And we'll have to see how much they're requesting to determine if we need to bring that one to the board. So a couple things happening there. That's really all I wanted to go over, unless there's questions.
Anybody have any questions for Heather?
If not, I'll accept the Economic Development Authority administrative activities for the month of February 2019.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 4, revised utility allowance schedule for Section 8 housing program.
All right. This is an annual item. We review the utility allowance schedules for the Section 8 program every spring, and the new utility allowances become effective on May 1st. So with the rental assistance programs, we take into account the rent for the unit, as well as any tenant-paid utilities, and we come up with a utility allowance, and the rent and the utility allowance together are the gross rent for the unit. And then the tenant's portion of the rent is calculated based on the gross rent amount. So we look over these every year, and the Section 8 program serves Brown County, so we have a utility allowance schedule for New Ulm, Sleepy Eye, and Springfield, as well as rural areas. If someone's renting out in the country, we have a rural utility allowance. And then we have allowances for whether the unit is an apartment, a mobile home, a duplex, or a single-family home. So a lot of work goes into putting these together every year. I didn't notice any major spikes, really, from the 2018 rates. LP and oil rates decreased from last year, but we rarely use those. That would be if someone was renting a rural property. And we noticed a slight decrease in the electric rates in New Ulm compared to the 2018 rates. I think we'll see those probably increase next year because they have increased the electric rates recently. So when we circle back and look at these next year, we'll probably see that go up again. So I don't see the minor changes in the rates affecting the program financially in any significant way. So are there any questions on?
Anybody have any questions for Heather? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
I'll offer a motion to approve the revised utility allowance schedules for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program effective May 1st, 2019.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 5, public housing program properties liability insurance package bid.
All right, this
Heather?
is another annual item. We go out for bids every year for the property and liability insurance for our public housing properties. We have the 40 units at Broadway House, and then we have 10 scattered site rental houses. So we sent bid packets out to 10 insurance agents, and 3 bids were received. You can see those listed. State Farm Insurance, the Bob Webb Agency was the low bidder in the amount of $12,526.92. And we have been with them for many years now, and we have had occasional claims, and they've been great to work with. So we do recommend taking the low bid and staying with State Farm.
I'll offer the motion to award the bid to State Farm Insurance for 2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 5, EDA March 12, 2019 claims list. You
I'll
got them in
just
front of you.
point out, we did install a new water heater in one of our rentals last month, and you'll see and a new furnace in another property. And then you'll see the check to State Farm is on there, so it's a higher than normal month.
Looks good. I'll make a motion authorizing payment of the public housing program claims for March 12th, 2019.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 6, housing office surplus property. Heather,
We just have a small desk that we'd like to dispose of.
I'll offer a motion to declare it as surplus property.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 6, receive a draft of the annual plan for the fiscal year 2019. Heather?
Another annual item. We go through this every year. Just kind of take a look at our policies for our program, as well as any upcoming capital fund projects we might want to propose for the upcoming year. I kind of give you an overview of what was accomplished in the last year. You've all received that. I don't think I need to go through it. We did go through both of our policy books, the policy for the public housing program as well as the Section 8 program, to get them all up to date with current law. It's been several years since we've updated those, so there were changes throughout both policies. The only thing I want to highlight is I am going to propose increasing the minimum rent for the public housing program from $25 to $50. HUD allows housing authorities to set a minimum rent between $0 and $50. The minimum rent for the Section 8 program was raised from $25 to $50 back in 2010. At that time, that program was in a shortfall, and that, as well as a few other policy changes, were recommended by HUD. I am at this time proposing increasing the minimum rent for the public housing program up to $50 as well. HUD is strongly encouraging housing authorities to charge the maximum possible for the minimum rent. So I am proposing that. We had resident advisory board meetings last week with tenants from all the programs were invited, and they were notified that we were proposing this change. They were notified that we're having a public hearing at the April EDA meeting, and that's also been advertised in the newspaper. So I have the draft policies attached, so they're available to the public to review. All the changes have been redlined. So people have a month to review those and come to the public hearing if they have any questions or concerns on the proposed changes. Are there any questions on that process?
Don't want to put you on the spot, but do you know approximately how many people are currently at that minimum rent in the public housing units?
Right now, I'm not sure if I have any. It's very rare. I mean, to be at the minimum rent, you have to be a zero-income household. Most of the people living at Broadway House are elderly or disabled, so their receiving Social Security disability, or general assistance from the county. So it's rare we see it there. In the family units, most people are either receiving cash assistance from the county or they're employed. So it may be 1 or 2 a year, and it's usually for a short period of time.
Okay.
So it shouldn't have a significant impact. It would just be nice to have both programs have the same minimum rent. It's just less confusing for everyone. And, you know, our operating subsidy for the public housing program has been prorated. They're not funding that program as well as they have in the past. And so any little thing we can do to help our cash flow, and this is going to be minimal, but I do recommend, I think it's time to make that change.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I'll make a motion to receive the draft annual plan for the fiscal year 2019.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 7, Economic Development Director, Assistant City Manager Activity Report. You have it in front of you. So, any questions, comments to it? Otherwise, entertain a motion. Accept it.
I'll offer the motion to accept the report.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. With no more business, meeting adjourned.
How